1 Peter chapter 1 verse 24 reads, "For all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man as the flower of grass. The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away." Take a look at this area that I mowed the other day. I just mowed this yesterday, actually. Look how quickly what is mowed down of this grass and weeds and everything dies. Think about this, that this didn't last for very long. Even if I had let it last to the end of the season, that wouldn't have been that long of a time, and it would have ended up dying anyways. So you take into thought this concept of grass. Grass does not last for very long. The flower of grass does not last for very long. Even if you want to consider the lifespan of a cycle anyways, of grass from one season, the beginning of the season, to the end of the season, you say, well, however long that is, 8-9 months if you live down here in the south possibly, or maybe longer, or less depending on where you live, you say that's a pretty good amount of time. Well, I'm beginning to realize something. I'm only 24 years old, but the older you get, it seems to be those periods of time goes by that much quicker. I'm sure those of you who are listening who are a lot older than me can really testify to that and say that yes, the older you get, time goes by that much faster. That brings about an interesting point. Your life is leaving you. You say, Brother Jacob, that's not something I want to think about, my life leaving me. Well, it's happening. Time does not reverse. Time carries on. And just as that grass comes in nice and pretty at the beginning of the season, it will be dead at the end of the season. Or if you want to take into account a yard, or say, that has been mowed, you look at that grass, it is nice and green when you cut it down, but you look at it the next day, what happens to it? Well, it's done turned brown. You never know when your time will come that you will be cut down. Your life will be ended. So this brings us to a question. Your life, as this grass, does not last for very long. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? Is your life like a nice, pretty blade of grass outside in the yard, a decorative grass that looks good? Are you doing good with your life? Or is your life rather like one of those ugly weeds with the seed heads that pop up above the grass that is worth nothing much more than to be cut down? How's your life look? More importantly, not so much how it looks in your sight or in other people's sight, but how does it look in the sight of God? When God looks at your life, does He see Jesus? Does He see a child of His? And if He does He see a child of His that is living for Him? If you're not saved today, you got to think your life is wasting away. If you die unsaved, you will die having filled no real purpose in this life. But if you know Jesus Christ as your Savior, you can be like a nice, pretty blade of grass out in the yard. Your life will be worth living, and your life will amount to something once it's gone. So, one way or the other, that grass will die. And one way or another, no matter how you live your life, it is leaving you. I caution you to use it right.